Hey, She Slayers, this is a special sample cut from this week's episode. If you find this interesting, be sure to make time to go listen to the entire episode released this past Sunday. And please be sure to help a girl out and follow or subscribe to this podcast.
So we're 3 months of me, like, exiting a business, getting the bookkeeper on in January, officially got my new accountant too, who does even more tax strategy,
Mhm.
and then I have virtual assistants on the chiropractic offices, and so I was just able to shift margins around. All of this is happening in those 3 months, and then, and it's not like I'm, like, hustling at that time either. It's more like I feel like the brake pedal's on, going on full vacations, spring break, full on mom stuff, all of that. But also just like delegating in the best ways. And then I get into your program and I'm like, okay, what do I want my personal brand to be? And I was like, the best example for you of someone who like has no clue what their personal brand should be. Cause in the program, I was like, I don't know, like intentional living, kind of want to bring in like the habit stacking, biohacking, but also like love being a business owner, love being a female business owner, but also like love being a mom.
Yep.
And
At one point, it was like talking about recording a podcast with your kids. And I'm
yeah,
like, okay, we,
okay.
I
I know it was all over the place. And then you're like giving these examples of getting your niche. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. That feels like so in a box. And I still feel like I'm not fully defined there. But it was like, okay, you just got to keep showing up. And I think for you, your coaching has helped so much and just like stay consistent, because like keep showing up online because I have always been like, sporadic. I might get inspired because I see a reel that I'm like, "Oh, I could do that. This relates to me in this way." And I did a lot of reels that were more just for fun with my kids,
and they
travel,
go well.
and
And
they
it's
oh my
so
gosh,
fun to
of
go
course.
viral.
I
It's
know.
so
I
fun.
still
That
have
reel you
one.
posted of me at Legree, it's at like 70 or 80,000. I was like, "That's
Oh my gosh.
meaningless."
No purpose. I know it's the ones that you're like, there's no intentionality, no purpose. Or it's always the ones where you're like, I didn't even wear makeup in that one. Cool. Great. Yeah, yeah, I've got like a millennial mom one that's at 30,000.
Is that the peace sign
Or
one?
the third no, it's the one that's like, you were born in the '80s,
Mhm.
raised in the '90s, partied in the 2000s, but somehow you're still a teen mom, but people keep you're a teen mom, but people keep telling you you're 38. That one is at like 30,000 likes. That's not even I don't even know, it's like
Yeah.
crazy, but has no point, and it is funny because like all the things you teach in the program, I feel like happened with that reel, where it's like it's an ego numbers, but also like the followers I was getting, then they eventually started dropping off because I'm
Right.
posting on business.
Right.
And really like what I'm posting on is for small business owners. And I feel like I widened the scope because there was a lot where I'd post on when I was in launch on Chiro Intensive. That was the other thing I don't like. When you post just when you're in launch. And then all of a sudden you're like doing the thing and you're tired. It's just like if you open a practice or a business, it's like you're on it with your social media, and then all of a sudden you're really busy in your
And then you're
business.
really busy and you're like, "Bye,
You're like
people."
ghosting your whole social media. And so I think that's been a big lesson I've learned from you too is just like keep showing up. And then I hired on a VA who does CapCut and literally we just put all my videos, my long form, my short form into a Google Drive and she edits it while I sleep. She knows my brand. And that has been a game changer because it takes away I really don't like all the editing in Instagram or TikTok when you're like and I always had errors, like, my font would get, like, super
Yeah.
extra large and would get cut off, and I'm like, "Okay." So I feel like I finally dialed in so I could have the consistency and then niched in to at least be like, for me, it's helping small business owners, like, secure their bag, and that
So
feels
what is what do you mean secure their bag? Is that what does that mean?
yeah. Yeah, so secure the bag, like, you think of the bag as, like, your profit, right? Or your revenue. It could be your revenue, and a lot of business owners just have a top line revenue that they spend all the way down there where there's nothing left in the bag, right? Like, the bag is empty, empty. Doesn't matter the brand of the bag, it's empty. And so, for me, it's like helping them to keep more money, whether it's in their business or going home to their family or to their team members. And that's by going through, I kind of think of it as decluttering, right? When you go through your closet, you like take everything out. And then you go through and you like eliminate and you decide what you're going to keep, but it looks like a shit show, right? When you're decluttering any closet in your house, and then you get it all back in nice and organized, lean, mean, intentional. And that's what I like to do with business, but also like you're doing that with your expenses and negotiating different contracts and all of that. But you're also looking at, okay, what could I delegate to AI or a VA for $2 to $15 an hour? Usually I'd say it's more like $4 to $8 an hour. I'm going to delegate that to a VA instead of wherever you live is maybe $18 to $30 an hour, And
That
so,
is definitely something. Like, I just interviewed before you an AI person, and we were talking about the future, and it was funny because I told her, like, as we were in like the pre, I was like, this is going to be the third AI episode, so like we've already talked about like, are the robots going to take over the world and like
yeah.
all of that stuff, just being like, oh, that's behind us. But like, as she's talking about the future of like, she's like, oh, within 18 months, I literally am just like, oh my God, but are we all going to become stupid? Like, I just like, but yeah, she was talking about how 63% of jobs within, oh, I don't remember the timeline. It was no more than 5 years. It was somewhere between 18 months and 5 years. Maybe it was like 3 years. Oh, I
Mhm,
want to say it was four because she was talking about alpha. That's what it was. So generation alpha,
mhm.
4 years from now, when they start hitting the workforce, 64% of jobs that exist now will not exist. And I
Interesting.
think, yeah, I know. Or exist as they do.
Right.
Like, because like you and I have been looking at these I mean, I personally, I don't think you ever hit this wall in your story. You were like a lot more, but like it was like, yay, seven figures.
Mhm.
I think my payroll was like $500,000
Yeah. Yep.
because like even though I'm in small town, like if I want a great full-time admin person, it's 50 grand.
Yeah. Yep.
$50,000.
Mhm.
Like, and
Yeah.
that is somebody who literally is saying, I want you to know I'm taking a pay cut, but I'm really passionate about this. And you're just like, you're fucking taking a pay cut? Like, oh my God. So
Yeah.
something's
Yeah.
going to break
Yeah.
in these brick and mortar businesses. And
Well, and I
that's,
feel like during the pandemic, we were in this place where, and this was just the job market. People in the job market could ask for what employees could ask for whatever they wanted. They were like getting crazy, crazy signing bonuses. And like, even if you think of associate doctors, the amount that people were paying them for like them having zero experience because employers just needed people, right? They needed bodies. And now I feel like we're at this place where it's like, okay, in our business, we can offsource a lot to VAs and AI. And then that way we have better margins to be able to pay high quality, high performing people
yes.
who are in the business. So it feels way more like a win-win as the business owner now, where it's like you can be choosy, you can be picky and in who you bring in as talent in your business. And then you can pay them well too, because you're offsourcing these other items and roles that like don't need to be a human body in your business anymore. They can be outsourced for a fraction. And so like I always think you're not taking jobs away per se. Maybe you are in a way, but you're going to paying the people who are there in person better than you could if you needed more people there in person where everyone's, like you said, saying like, "Oh, I'm taking a pay cut," or they're just not making ideally what they'd love to make, you know?